welcome or welcome back to my channel. Basically what I have planned is I want to read some ARCs, which for anyone who doesn't know, ARCs are advanced reader copies, are basically books that I sort of have access to before they're published. ARCs are just books that are out there before they're published. So I get all of my ARCs through NetGalley, which is something that anyone can sign up for really, and then they give you a bunch of titles that you can sort of request, or it's kind of like bidding on them, and then the companies can decide to let you get an advanced copy of that book in exchange for a review, and that's basically it. They don't really care where you post the review as long as you review it, but you do have to make like a bio saying I have a TikTok, I have a YouTube, I have a this, and like this is basically that. And then some organizations will email you and be like, make sure to tag us, or make sure to do this, or make sure to do that. But that will come after you bid on the review and they accept you. But anyways, so I have 3 separate books that I've been approved for on NetGalley, and I'm really excited to read all of them. I tried to really branch out to different genres, so I think I have one cute romance, I have one mystery that I'm super excited about, I'm so excited to tell you about it, and a like dark romance I think as well. So the first book I have is Save the Date by Mallory, Kass, and I'm really excited. I honestly don't know much about this book. It does come with a like sort of synopsis of what I'm getting myself into before I bid on it, which is why I did. It's supposed to be a romantic comedy. It says with the slow burn romance of Emily Henry and the humor of Sophia Kinsella, which I don't know the second author, but that's fine. And basically from what I understand, it's a bride with like a secret from her past that comes up, a maid of honor who is in love with the groom, and a sister who's falling for the best man. And all of this is happening within one like novel. So that's the first one. I'm excited about it. I don't know the author. I haven't read a rom-com in a while, but I've been really craving it. So I think it's going to be good. I'm excited. I hope that I can kind of get out of this rut I've been in, because I keep getting like 2-star, 3-star reads, and I kind of just want like a 4 or 5-star, get me giggling, get me going. That's what I want. So we'll see. Hello. So I have been flying through this book, like warp speed, go. I'm obsessed with it. I'm currently 76% of the way through. My Kindle says I have an hour left, 55 minutes left of the book. Like, okay, first thing, this book is messy, okay? If you like messy, like messy drama, this book will give you that for sure. You are watching like 3 Hallmark movies unfold kind of all at the same time, and I think some people like might think it's overwhelming, but I think it's very well done. You're getting like, without a lot of characterization, I still feel like I personally am like really attached to some of the characters, and I think that specifically Marigold and Olivia, they're very complex like characters. They're very fleshed out, and I read some of the reviews because I like some of the worst reviews, and a lot of people were like, I hate Olivia, I hate Marigold, they're like blah blah blah. They have, no offense if you feel that way, but they have issues because they're complex characters. Like, that is the whole point to me, and I think that that was very well done. Like, these characters have depth, and they have issues, and they have negative sides to them and things that they don't do well, just like all of us. And I personally, like, I, as an older sister, like, I really like or relate to that sort of, like, overprotective, older sister, hyper-independent, like, archetype, and Olivia's that. And so whenever I read that character, I feel a little bit more connected, because I just kind of relate, and I have a lot of like flaws that I see in myself that kind of come with that. So that part has been really, really good, especially because, hate to say it, but I think Olivia has the best romance plot line with, you know what, I won't even tell you. I think her plot line's so good. I love it. I've been eating it up. They have such good banter. It's so cute. Same with Marigold. Her banter is also very cute. So I've just been really enjoying the book, is really all I have to say. The only issue is Natalie. And oh yeah, just for clarification, Olivia is the bride's sister, Marigold is the bride, and Natalie is the bridesmaid of honor. And my issue with Natalie is, I understand the I'm in love with the groom bit. She's just coming off as obsessive. Like, she's coming off as like too aggressive, and so I don't want to root for her because I'm like she specifically explains why she makes a certain decision that basically like derails her life, and I just personally think that that's a lot. Like, maybe people do that in the world, but for me, I'm like, I just don't see that being a decision that really made sense or makes sense, especially not for Natalie. And I see her like, and I like the character growth she's going on. It's just that part of the plot specifically with her love interest really rubs me the wrong way. And I also feel like we don't get enough of her relationship to feel it. Like, we get enough of Marigold's love interest, we get enough of Olivia's, but Natalie, you just aren't, it's just not there. Like, you see a lot less of her, it's less developed, and I don't really believe in it or care about it as much. And Marigold's kind of in the middle, where like I'm kind of in a situation where like if Olivia had a story, I'd probably like it's sitting at like a 4.5, but if Marigold had a story, it's probably like a 3.54, but if it's Natalie's story, it's like a 2.52. And so I'm interested to see how it all ties up, but I have a feeling I'm really gonna like the ending. I just think that Natalie was underdeveloped, but I am curious, because it's so underdeveloped, if in the next 25% they're gonna like build up Natalie, because I do think part of the reason why Natalie can't be built up is because of the way the other stories intertwine with hers. So we'll see. But I'm very much so enjoying it. I'm probably gonna finish it tonight. I might just stay up. It's currently 2 a.m. and I might just keep going until 3. But I'll let you guys know. Yeah. Oh, I also found out that Mallory Kass wrote The 100, which I haven't read or watched, but I know people love that show, and apparently it's by the same author, but this is her first, I think this is like her adult fiction debut. So that's super cool, and it's very good. So that's exciting. Well, so far. Okay. So it's actually a few days later, actually like a week later, because I actually started my next book and I didn't realize that I never recorded my thoughts on Save the Date. And I gave it 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it, especially for an adult fiction debut. I just thought it was good. I thought it was so messy. The characters I thought had a lot of layers. And yeah, I enjoyed it, especially Olivia. I really saw myself in her. I just really connect, like I've said, to the hyper independent, responsible, like maternal older sister. And she gets a lot of hate. I read those reviews. She gets a lot of hate, but I don't think it's deserved, because I really like understand, and I know like her flaws, but I think it's very understandable where they come from. Really the only issue, and the reason it's not like a 4-star, is Natalie. Guys, Natalie's the maid of honor. I just felt like her plot line was all out of whack. I felt like it was rushed. I felt like it didn't click. I felt like her motivations, her flaws were almost too much, and I felt like we didn't get enough of her perspective to justify it. I felt like she made decisions that didn't really make any sense, and I feel like her resolution just felt rushed and like not legitimate. And I think the way it all wraps up in like a pretty little bow just would not happen, and she gets off very easily, is what I'll say. So that's my opinion on Save the Date. But since finishing that, I have begun the arc of Everyone in This Bank is a Thief by Benjamin Stevenson. Let me get my, where'd I put her? She's right here. Yeah, here we go. I started Everyone in This Bank is a Thief. Wait, go back. I'm gonna put up a photo of the actual cover as well, so you guys can kind of get the vibe. But yeah, so this is the, I think technically 3rd book, but there is a novella, so it's like the 4th book, but in the series it's the 3rd book of the Ernest Cunningham like detective series written by Benjamin Stevenson. I love this series. I've never read Agatha Christie, but I've heard like from the way the book sounds, apparently it's supposed to be similar to Agatha Christie. Okay. And it's basically a fair play mystery is what Ernest describes it as, where you can solve it. You can be a detective. He gives you all the clues. He has like a set of rules that he explains in book 1 that he doesn't violate, and if he does violate them, he'll explain before, so that you can get to the end and solve it, knowing that it's not going to be some crazy trick. and I really loved them. The first and the second one I enjoyed. I think the first one, I don't remember. The first one just had a crazy twist at the end. The second one, I just didn't know who did it, and I really enjoyed that conclusion. The third, the novella, I locked in for that one because there was one specific clue that just made it so obvious to me what had happened that it gave it all away. But this one I'm really excited for. And basically the premise of the story is that there's 10 heists, 10 people, 10 thefts, 10 thefts, and you kind of like, and then there's murders along with it, and you have to find out who the murderer is. You don't have to find out who the thief is because, as I've said, they're all thieves. But there's just so many characters and so much going on that I like doubt in my detective abilities that I'm gonna find out who it is. I'm not even going to this book with that motivation like I usually do because there's just so much, and I'm a little worried that it's gonna be a lot because I'm already kind of confused or overwhelmed just getting the characters like straight in my head. But I have never not enjoyed my time with a Benjamin Stevenson mystery, so I'll let you guys know. I have faith he'll pull it off. Right now, I'm just a little lost. Okay. Hello. So, last night, I stayed up late and I finished Everyone in This Bank is a Thief. I believe it comes out March 17th of 2026. So, it comes out, I think, like 2 months from now. Maybe a month from when I post this video. I gave it 3.5 stars. Here's really what I think. I think that I did enjoy this book, and the ending, I had no idea who the murderer was. I went into it literally being like, I know who it isn't. I don't know who it is. I don't know how it happened. I really don't know anything. Which honestly was kind of fun. Like, I like going into the parlor scene of the big reveal at the end, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what you think is going to happen, anything at all. That was fun. But I think that the book lost rating for me for a few reasons. The first is I felt like this book just wasn't as funny as the other Ernest Cunningham books. Like, I feel like Ernest in the books has a voice. He has a very specific voice. He's very funny. He's very witty. He breaks the fourth wall a lot. And I just felt like this book was lacking that. Like, he did break the fourth wall, but not in... Oh my god. But not in like a funny way. Like, he just broke the fourth wall to like provide hints or clarify things, and I didn't love that. I missed the usual flair that came with him. I also felt like I spent the middle like 50% of this book just actually confused. I think I missed a very important moment maybe, or I just didn't realize it happened. But so I was just caught up, and I think that's a hazard of having like so many characters, 10 suspects, 10 heists, like so much going on. But so I just like spent the middle confused. Once I reached about 75%, I was out of the weeds and I kind of everything aligned back up and it made more sense. But I spent a good chunk just being like, what the hell is going on? And I think that hindered my understanding because it made me kind of want to stop reading or restart, and I didn't actually want to restart. And so that was part of why when we got to the end, I didn't really have any guesses, but I did understand what had happened by that point, like in terms of what I had read. Like, I knew everything, I just didn't know how they came together. With the ending, I was like, whoa, this is really good. I saw where all the hints were. I saw the clues, even though I didn't connect them. I had acknowledged that all the clues were important. I just couldn't put them in order, and I think that that's what made the parlor scene so well done. I thought it all made sense. I thought... Yeah, I like the ending of the book, and I like the book itself. I love Ernest Cunningham. Like, it got 3.5 stars, which is not a bad rating at all. I just felt like, yeah, I spent a good amount of the book a little confused. I also think part of Ernest not being funny is I think that this book strived to give Ernest more layers. Like, it kind of showed that he isn't infallible. It showed some of his personality flaws, and I liked that. But I just wish it was balanced maybe with more funniness. But the personality flaws were interesting. I just, felt like trying to put in 10 heists, 10 suspects, flesh out different motives, flesh out different ways things were done, flesh out different clues on top of like the hostage situation and adding more layers to Ernest and dealing with his engagement, like all of that together was a lot to put in a book, and I don't think it's that surprising that I was left a little confused, but I did enjoy the ride. I do recommend this book if you're looking for a murder mystery. The book has a moment where it says like, sometimes the world just needs like a good guy to root for and to watch the bad guy get put away at the end, and I think that is that time right now. Like, some people just want to see bad guys be put to justice and good guys have a happy ending. I think that was something that I wanted when I went into this book, and so this would be a good book for that. It is the third book in like the main series, the fourth if you include the novella, but just the series itself I would pick up. I love the first book. Everyone in my family has killed someone. I really recommend that if you haven't read that. Beyond that, oh my god, I keep yawning. Is that me you're yawning? Because I'm yawning. Are you yawning right now? LOL. Guys, we're connected. Anyways, also I'm sick again. I'm literally sick again, which is why I sound so stuffy. What I was gonna say is, so here's my thing, is the arcs have been taking me a little bit of time, and I think it's because I'm not feeling a motivation necessarily to get to them, and I don't know why. I picked these books because I love the prompts, I'm just not feeling it right now, so I think I'm gonna take a break. I'm reading The Lost Apothecary. I think I'm gonna do that on my own time, finish that book, read a book that I've been meaning to read, and then maybe do an arc. I think it's just because I know there are so many books I want to get through that the arcs kind of add to that list. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take a tangent, take a break from this video, go read something that's just like sparking my interest, because the next book I want to read for this video has a really interesting premise and kind of an intense one, and I think it's gonna have a lot of social commentary, and I want to make sure that I go into it with the right headspace, and I don't want to with it at a disadvantage, because I think I could really love the book itself, and I could take a lot away from it, and I think it could just, yeah, have great commentary. So I want to make sure that I go into it in the right headspace. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break, read The Lost Apothecary on my own time. Oh my god, not record any videos, and then we'll touch base for the last arc I'm going to read for this video. Also, in the time that I've been reading these arcs, I've been given 2 more arcs that I don't think I'm going to read, but I might mention at the end. Like, I'll read them eventually, but not for this video. Anyways, I am back from my arc break. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling revitalized. I'm not sick anymore. I read The Lost Apothecary, loved it, and it really got me back in the vibe. So I started the Boyfriend Academy. I think I'm 12% of the way through. What are my thoughts? Basically, the plot, from what I understand in the book, based off the back and then also what I've read so far, is that there is an academy called the Boyfriend Academy where its goal is to train or build, I guess, boys into men, but not in the way we would think. In like, to become a man, these men need to work against any violent tendencies they may have, work on emotional maturity, learn how to cry, like things that we wouldn't normally expect. And then if they accomplish this feat of being a man, then they get a family, a wife, a job, and they're matched with their partners based off of some like technology that matches them with their best match. And there's also like a few different schools, but this kid goes to the best school. And then like the first 2 chapters, so this isn't a spoiler, both of his parents die and his like guy best friend dies, but around that death is a lot of mystery. I definitely think there's going to be levels. It's giving like potentially a corrupt government. I don't really know the extent, but because it just started, but that is the general plot. Oh, and then the main character is gay, which from what I'm understanding from the book is a no-go. It's giving that the society itself is probably homophobic. I don't know the extent of that yet because the book hasn't really gone into it, but the main character definitely is upset with himself for being gay, and I'm interested to see how that continues throughout the story. And I was really excited to pick this book up because I think it could have a lot of societal commentary, a lot of interesting plot going into it. I'm not really seeing the societal commentary going on just yet. Maybe it'll come up later. It's more kind of setting the scene for this government, this mysterious situation, dark academia. I don't really know where it's going to develop to, but so far it's okay. The writing style is different. It's a YA book, which I didn't really realize. So the writing style is very almost simplistic, very like blunt, and it's moving very fast. Like, this world building is quick. So I have been a little like iffy on how I feel about that, but I'm hoping it sort of sorts itself out. But that's really all I have. I'm excited to keep reading. I'm excited to see where the plot goes. I think it's so funny because I keep ending these videos somehow in my car, and I don't really know why this is where I've been filming my conclusion. But it is what it is. Anyways, I finished Boyfriend Academy. Whoa, 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 whoa. And here's the thing with this book, okay? I really enjoyed it. Like, I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was great. But I think the big caveat I guess I have is what the book says it's about is not, it's not wrong, but it's not really what the book is about. Like, I think I went in really expecting like more commentary, I guess, on toxic masculinity, but instead it definitely focused more on homophobia. I just felt like the world wasn't really the world that it advertised itself to be, where men are trained to be perfect in this unconventional way and women are trained to be perfect. It was established, but I don't think that the implications of that were really explained or a part of the plot as much as I was hoping it would be, or the themes related to that would be. But that being said, I really enjoyed it. It's just that that was something that I was really excited to see, and I do think it was more of an undercurrent. But I'm trying not to judge the book on that because it's not like something it did wrong. It's just an anticipation I had that I didn't see fulfilled, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I liked the book. I really liked the main couple, and I really liked the journey of self-discovery I feel like the main character goes on. I think that this book also falls into like an insta-love trap or something, where like I feel like I just sometimes have a hard time meshing when one of the characters loves the other person so much before they've ever even spoken. But I think that this book, I didn't really care about it, and I don't really know why. And I think it was just because there was so much going on around the romance that I just felt like the insta-love kind of made sense here, because you have this person who is your only safe haven given everything else that was going on. So I let it go. I also felt like the two had really good chemistry, which I really liked. And the ending was good. It wasn't like a whoa twist, but I liked seeing it come together. I liked seeing it was going. The last like 20 pages were a little bit rushed, but I thought it was a standalone, but the ending is giving that it might be a series, but I don't really know what they would do with the next book. All of that being said, though, the book was fun. You're definitely meeting a fun cast of characters. It's not like something that I don't think the book takes itself too seriously. I think there are moments where it slips into this really like literary voice just randomly, and I think that can be a little jarring, but I kind of liked it. Like, sometimes Roman just hits these lines where, oh my god, there was this one line. It was I think it was, men have gone to war for love before. I will do it again. Oh my god, look. Okay, whatever. I was like, hello? I literally sat there, and my little brother was next to me, and I was like, men have gone to war before for love. I will do it again. I will do it again. Like, there were just, Roman sometimes gets in like a little vibe like that, and I think that that's funny because it really comes out of nowhere, but I enjoyed it. But I can see how for other people they wouldn't. Anyways, yeah, I really recommend this book. I really recommend it. It also is like a debut novel, I believe, from J.S. Strange, and I think for a debut novel, like, this was very well done. Yeah, I recommend it. It is YA, so it feels YA, so don't expect it to be really intense or really in-depth or really go through these themes. I would limit that. Yeah, that's all. That's all I really have. I'm excited to finally post this, because this video has taken me a long time because I was reading so many books interspersed. So hopefully it'll be up this month. We'll see. Okay, see you on the flip side. Bye.
You're so good, but not for me. Don't try to